Hello, in today's class, we are going to be exploring how to handle missing values using Excel basic note. So we have this data set, the marketing company, and the only difference with this data set with what we've been working with before is that there are some missing values, especially on the conversion columns. How do we handle missing values? One of the steps we use in handling missing values is filling it up, filling empty places with zeros. That's one. Better still, fill it up with certain numbers, specific numbers. It depends on your specific use case. Another way we handle missing values is filling empty spaces up with average. Another way we handle missing values is deleting any row that has a certain that has a particular column with a missing value. So let's start from the very beginning, which is filling with zeros. For that, I will be using the if NA function. So I'll say equal to if NA. There's a function like that. Look at it. I don't click on it, and the value is the very first value I have on my conversions column, comma. Let me use a certain number, for instance. Maybe I would say 5. Enter. If I double click this to refill for every other column, for every other rows, you will see that despite the fact that I use 5 as my condition, that is any place that doesn't have values, fill it up with 5. What returned for me was 0. Why? If NA only returns 0. So even if you put in numbers, it will ignore that number that you imputed. So it only works with zeros. Okay. So if your business case requires you filling empty spaces with actual zeros, then it's fine to work with if NA. Another way we handle missing values is using the if is blank function. I'm going to show us a number of ways to use the if is blank function. So if is a function, select it, and then my logical test. For my logical test, I want to first of all introduce is blank because I want to say if I have an is blank cell, a blank that is a cell that is blank, sorry, then fill it with certain conditions. So is blank. Is blank. Which value do I want to display as is blank? The very first value of my conversions. All right. Close the bracket. I'm done with is blank. So value if true. If E3 is blank, fill it up with 5. Else return E2. Yes, that's what I want to do. And I'm done. I close my bracket and enter. So I would double click here. When I bring the cursor to this green dots just at the right, the bottom right corner of my cell, just double click on it and it populates. Now we see that our 5 works. I said fill every empty cell with 5, every blank cell with 5, and then it works. Why use this? You know your business model better. If you have a fixed price for a certain product you sell, maybe you record customers who comes in and buys stuffs. And for some reason, you know that a value was missing, like you forgot to record something, a value for a certain customer. Then you can fill such empty space with a standard figure, 2,000, 50,000, 5,000, as the case may be, 10, 9. So you fill such empty space with a certain figure because you know that no matter what, that is the fixed value for your business use case. Okay, then another way we handle missing value is filling up with average, best for analysis. All right, so we also make use of the if is blank and the average function, right? So let's see how this is possible. Again, I'll start with if, and then it's blank. Introduce this blank function. What value am I referring to? The first value of my conversions column, close it. So if E2 is blank, what do I want to fill it with? I want to fill it with the average conversions. So I would highlight everything I have here. I want to fill it with the average conversions. Okay. Close my bracket, comma. If false, if it's not blank, return the value that is present in conversions already. Then enter. Then once I populate this, it has worked. Let's see how well it worked. Let's see how well it worked. Scrolling down, I'm seeing something. I have 180.8 here, and I have 253.8, 259.7. Why am I having different figures? 256.9, something is wrong somewhere. It then means you need to make use of absolute reference. So press Windows F4 on your average. Windows F4 to get that fixed, and then enter. Now let's repopulate and see if it worked. Now our average has changed to 54.948. If this is correct, it would be same on every place there were missing values. Let's see. 254. Great. Look at it now. It's the same. 254.948. We have gotten it right. 254. Great. So this is the correct figure. All right. And then another method for handling missing values is deleting what you don't need and keeping what you don't need. And to do that, we use if is blank. And then, yeah, if it's blank, but this time around, I want to delete what we don't need. Any row that has an empty conversion, take it off. Okay. This is used for analysis as well. You probably don't need that, those populations of people. It's perfect for surveys. Took out a survey, and some people responded to some questions and some people didn't. You might not need the population of those who didn't answer a particular question. Okay, so because of that, you will take that population off and work with the population that handled a particular response. So how do we handle keeping and deleting? Okay, so C equal to if is blank. If conversions, the very first value of my conversion is what I'm working with. So I want to say if conversions is blank, then return delete, else keep. Right? If it's not blank, then we keep it. That's it. Let's populate and see.
Really?
And now we have the items the rules we are going to delete and we are going to keep. So how do you go about this? If you, let's say you now want to go ahead to delete the ones you've identified for deletion, you can Control A by selecting your entire table. Before you Control A, please take note. Just click any corner of the cell where you have input on your table and Control A to select the entire table for you. On your home, you will see this corner called sort and filter, right? Sort and filter. You go to custom sort, and then you want to sort by if it's blank, delete, right? This and click OK. So now it has gathered all my deletes on one side and all the keep on the other. So all I need to do now is go ahead and right click to delete all those rows that have been identified for deletion. That is how to handle missing values. All right, see you next class. Oh, before then, please kindly take note that this is basic Excel analysis, okay? As we keep riding on through this class, we are going to see even more advanced methods of handling missing values in Excel. So stay tuned.